Welcome viewers, click the red button to subscribe and press bell icon to get all updates. The little dictator in North Korea has poked the American bear one too many times and thought he could get away with it since he recently coerced a couple countries to work with him against the US. Perhaps Kim Jong-un thought he was in a safe place for a few days of reprieve from President Donald Trump's wrath while he was busy in Germany at the G20 summit. However, he should have learned from the commander-in-chief's swift action in Syria that Trump will take a break from any dinner plans he has with world leaders to deliver retaliation. The US has had our military parked right outside of North Korea for a few months now, and it still hasn't stopped Kim Jong-un from trying to talk tough to our country and launching a missile earlier this week. The little dictator's mouth is writing checks that his backside can't cash, and now Trump just dropped a massive deposit in his country to send a message that he's not messing around with this tyrant anymore. Vanguard reports, the U.S. Air Force B-1 bombers have dropped dummy bombs near the Korean demilitarized zone in show of force. The Air Force B-1 bombers, which were escorted by South Korean fighter jets, dropped the bombs in response to North Korea's missile launch earlier this week, according to reports. The Korean demilitarized zone is a strip of land running across the Korean peninsula. It was established by the provisions of the Korean Armistice Agreement to serve as a buffer zone between the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, North Korea, and the Republic of Korea, South Korea. The zone is a border barrier that divides the Korean peninsula roughly in half, which was created by agreement between North Korea, China and the UN in 1953. U.S. Secretary of Defense Jim Mattis had said on Thursday that Pentagon was ready to provide military options to President Donald Trump over the continued launch of ballistic missiles by North Korea. The military remains ready in accordance with our alliance with Japan and Korea, Mattis said during a news conference at the Pentagon. The North Korean launch of an intercontinental ballistic missile on July 4 is a very serious escalation and provocation, and also an affront to the United Nations Security Council resolutions, he said. We stand ready to provide options if they are necessary, Mattis said, pointing out that diplomacy with regards to North Korea had not failed. Mattis quoted General Vincent Brooks, the commander of U.S. forces in Korea, as saying America and South Korea have exercised extreme self-restraint in avoiding war. Mattis stressed that the U.S. is trying to exhaust all diplomatic and economic options to end North Korea's missile program. However, those efforts are wearing out quickly with the persistence of refusal to cooperate from North Korea's leader. It can be difficult to tell when the diplomatic options have been exhausted because your enemy might be sneaky, or duplicitous in some way, and it's the responsibility of a country has to try and determine fact from fiction. That's not the case with North Korea, who have been clear about their intentions by Ragatouche has come right out in the open and announced their plans for a fight. It doesn't get much more plain than American bastards would be not very happy with this gift sent on the July 4th anniversary. America absolutely must stand up and protect itself, or generations to come will be reading their history books in another language, wondering why we kept quiet so long, Freedom Daily previously reported. President Trump has decided that he's going to start his offensive by pressuring the United States trade partners into cutting off their dealings with the tiny dictatorship, in hopes that will further sway their actions. He's backing this up with a reminder that we can and will drop munitions at any time, just to show North Korea that they aren't in control of anything, America is. The U.S. doesn't deal with threats after the fact. Trump nips it in the bud from the start, proving that we're the most powerful nation in the world who cannot be messed with. It's about time we treat North Korea like they are completely ready to engage in a nuclear conflict and prepare for that, rather than assuming they don't actually have bad intentions, what Barack Obama used to do with all of our enemies. The US and others are attempting to show restraint in the face of this mentally ill little monster, but that has a time limit on it which is running out. This dictator thought he could talk tough and puff up his chest to the US and needs to know not to expect any small packages in return. This was his warning, and next time he will get the horns for messing with the bull.